Hi again, Kitty Colding here. This is our last video, number 6 in the series about solving last mile problems in analytics. And today we're just doing a little bit of a wrap up and a review. So to close this out, I want to share a little bit of insight about companies that we've seen be really successful with making this change, making this transition, and really making it stick inside the organization. And the ones that seem to do it the best, that have the best success that you can actually measure, and where everybody really feels the impact of this, is those that consider this to be what we call a daily devotion. So a good analogy here is a puppy. Let's say you've gone out and gotten yourself a new puppy. And when you bring that puppy home, you don't just plop him in his perfectly sized little doggy bed and call it good. You feed the dog and you make sure he has plenty of clean water. You clean up after him a fair amount. You take him for walks. You monitor his health. You give him vaccinations. And you integrate this little creature into your life. You start thinking about how it will affect your dog if you have to go somewhere for the weekend, or you're out late, or you're not able to take the dog for a walk when he might need to go. These things start to matter, and you start changing the way you do things to accommodate this dog's requirements. You have basically built a relationship with this little guy, and you've done it by understanding who he is and what he needs and how things really ought to work. So we suggest you take a similar approach when you've launched all your wonderful analytics tools. You're not just going to throw them out there and go back and start doing your day job. You're going to devote yourself to this endeavor every day to make sure that all of this effort and work that you've put forward is actually benefiting the company and delivering the impact that you have intended it to deliver all along. You're going to engage your users across the enterprise, talk to them about their needs, understand what's really not resonating or what other hurdles are that they're imposing, if it's a comprehension issue or a perspective issue, or if they just don't have time. That might be an issue of incentive with their manager. There's a lot to consider. So to wrap up, a few quick steps. One, if you want these tools to take root in an organization, go beyond the dashboard. Develop programs that engage users with the data and analytics and deliver it to them. Select the findings at first. Figure out what you want them to start thinking about and ingesting at first. Curate those findings before you sort of dump a gigantic quantity on them, so that they can sort of ramp into this a little bit and start getting into the habit of consuming these materials. Create materials that explain the data in a way that uses their perspective, their tone, their terminology, and their vernacular, depending on the group that they're in and the type of worker that they are in your organization. And deliver the materials in a way that is consistent with the way that they consume material and the way that they do their job. Make sure that the materials are constructed to help them win. They should have an obvious success impact for these users. Okay, that's it. We would love to get your feedback on this series and on this whole idea of, we call these data articulation services. We'd love to hear if they've worked for you, if you have other ideas or other approaches you've been trying. I hope you'll reach out to me anytime, Kitty@chrysalis.partners. And I just want to thank you again for listening in. Have a good one.